We all experience different seasons in life, each with different emotions and experiences. The wet or the rainy season is here again, and on Better You Today, we will delve into matters aimed at making the best of the season. My name is Yetunde Jayola. First, celebrating the caregivers toiling ceaselessly to ensure care for the sick, wounded, young, and the aged comes your way after this short break. Please stay tuned.
In the heart of our communities, nurses play a pivotal role, providing exceptional care for everyone, even when they are in the comfort of our homes. Our nurses play a huge role in our hospitals. Many see them as angels on earth because of their dedication, compassion, and expertise. From prenatal visits to the moment of childbirth, nurses take the long walk with expectant mothers and their families. They offer guidance, support, and medical care, ensuring that both mother and child are safe. In those precious early days of a newborn's life, nurses provide invaluable support to new parents. They teach, reassure, and care, helping families navigate the joys and challenges of parenthood. Home care nurses are the backbone of healthcare at home, managing chronic illnesses, recovery from surgeries, and providing palliative care. Their role is crucial to improving the quality of life for patients and their families. Nurses are also essential supporters of doctors, acting as the eyes and ears in the field. They provide critical insights, implement care plans, and ensure that patients receive continuous and coordinated care. Nurses are celebrated globally from the 6th to the 12th of May every year, and their theme for this year is Our Nurses, Our Future, Economic Power of Care. Investing in nursing and respecting rights reminds us of the importance of empowering nurses. By investing in their training, resources, and well being, we ensure a brighter future for healthcare. Appreciating the efforts of all the nurses who tirelessly care for us in our homes, during childbirth, and every step of the way goes a long way in encouraging them to do more. Your voice leads, your care heals, and your dedication shapes the future of healthcare.
Change is the only constant thing in life, and the seasons have their own unique way of reminding us of that. A mini documentary on the changing weather pattern and its impact on human activity is next on our lineup. Much later, perspectives of Nigerians on adjustments adopted in mitigating the impact of the rainy season will come your way. Thank you for staying glued to our channel.
According to most researchers, rainfall occurs between March and November in the southern part of the country. and from mid-May to September in the far northern part of Nigeria. Although some posit that it rains almost all year round in some littoral states. The onset of the rainy season is a delight to most farmers, especially those who depend solely on rain-fed agriculture. Exploring, adopting and utilizing all relevant agronomic practices, a bountiful harvest is expected at the end of the day, bearing in mind the gestation period of the crop cultivated. However, climate change has led to erratic weather rainfall patterns, resulting in periods where expected rainfall is either delayed, completely absent, or comes as a deluge. This unpredictability do affect crop yield and impinge negatively on the fortunes of farmers. Flooding is also a salient characteristic of rainy season in Nigeria. In most cases, more than two-thirds of the states in Nigeria are impacted by flooding on a yearly basis despite early warning systems put in place by relevant authorities. The predictions by these agencies are targeted at assisting policy and decision makers as well as residents of flood-prone areas to take necessary and decisive steps toward mitigating the impact of flooding. Over time, relevant government agencies have called for attitudinal change among Nigerians. They regularly advise some Nigerians to desist from action that can complicate and aggravate the effects of the rainy season, such as blocked drainage channels, building on floodplain and riverbanks, uncontrolled, unplanned and poor planned urbanization, poor urban waste management and deforestation, among others. Nigeria is a country with a growing population, and the need to grow what we eat and eat what we grow cannot be overemphasized. Initiatives to boost food production like owning a garden is encouraged. Good post-harvest practices to reduce wastages is also canvassed. Sustained improvement in the security situation in the country will further motivate farmers to return to the farmlands with the attendant increase in food production. Also, excesses of middlemen in the high price of food and commodities should be curtailed in order to reverse the ever-increasing prices of foods in the country.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Better You Today on NTA. When seasons change, it is a signal that our lives also transit and evolves. Perspectives of Nigerians on how they are relating with the season is next. Let's hear them out.
I try to keep abreast of the weather forecast, try to just watch how the weather is going to be every day so that I don't get wet, try to dress simple and get my bookings with my vehicles as soon as possible. Ensure I'm neat. I just try to avoid anything dirty because I don't use so much.
Like I come with public transport. Generally I like cold weather, so the season is favorable to me. I love it. You put on sweaters or raincoats. I make use of insecticides like 5 p.m. Then we stay out When I am sure the odor has gone out, then we go in. Then I make use of mosquito nets.
So rainy season is a season that's welcome. You just prepare yourself, and maybe if there is too much flood or something, you go to a higher level and avoid exposing yourself to unnecessary dangers. I make sure I disinfect the area. As of today, I make sure all the grass is around. I make sure they come and spray the chemicals so that there won't be more grass. If there are, and then there are no stagnant water around, and then you ensure that the issue of exposing light or something like that, the things that can attract insects, and probably make sure you don't keep things that will make them look dark.
I dress cozy most of the times. I dress cozy even to sleep, and while going out as well, I make sure I'm wearing something thick. We are coping because there's no any other way apart from the sun. So we're just coping.
It's just waking up, trying to wake up early. Like, I have to wake up early to go to the studio very early so that rain will not catch me. I try to wash at night. I wash at night. So just if it doesn't dry early, I just try to use fan or something. If it doesn't dry, like if I have an activity early in the morning tomorrow, I use fan on it just to make sure it dries before morning time.
In the words of Charles Dickens, nature gives every season a beauty of its own. Lush greenery, a bountiful harvest is associated with the rainy season. It is my utmost pleasure to introduce our resource person, Elizabeth Ayimbeze, a registered nurse and midwife with the NISA Premier Hospital, Abuja. She gives valuable guide and insights that will ensure Nigerians cope with the season. Please stay tuned.
The basic care, even before it gets to the healthcare setting, begins with an individual, because the weather is not too friendly when it comes to this season. Being that people are exposed to things like malaria, cholera, cough, catarrh, and all that, I think the basic care comes from the individual. One, personal hygiene, your environment. If the environment is neat, is tidy, if we save the environment from stagnated waters that breeds mosquitoes and all that, it's going a long way to help to prevent mosquitoes. Some of the people fetch rainwater to use during this period. So if you know how to boil the rainwater before using, it's going a long way to help prevent some of these diseases that are prevalent this season. For the individual to keep him or herself warm, because when the temperature is close to the normal body temperature, it goes a long way to help. The normal body temperature between 36 and 37.2. But during the cold, you discover that the temperature is below 36. So if the individual is always warming up, maybe use of cardigan, in an environment where they use air condition most times, control the temperature, it will help to prevent cold. And of course, the exposures, they will tell you, is cough and catarrh. Aside medication, I think the major thing I will encourage is foods that are of phytochemical basis, like plants, fruits, generally. You may not need to get the blueberries and those ones that are very expensive, but you can always get your orange, your pineapple, watermelon. They are very, very helpful this season. Unfortunately, everybody cannot afford to live in Metama, Asokoro, Wuse too, but wherever you live is where you can afford. And your home is your home. It doesn't matter what the environment looks like, but the personal hygiene starts with you as an individual. And like one of my consultants back then would say, ritualistic hand washing, being very, very conscious of hand washing have saved a lot of people from a lot of sicknesses and diseases. Then the normal sweeping and dusting of your windows, the floor, your environment, your kitchen goes a long way to keep you safe and healthy, considering the fact that those places that are not clean, from time to time, your handle, the surfaces, you still touch them with your hands. So if you're conscious of hand washing and cleaning those surfaces, it goes a long way to prevent the preventable diseases. It doesn't cost so much to eat healthy or to prepare healthy meals. We all have our timing in our workplaces, in our businesses. You can actually make it a priority to have things to prepare ahead of the next day. For instance, what are we getting for breakfast? What are we getting for lunch or for dinner? On my way back from the office, I can actually stop and get those things and prepare ahead. But where you cannot avoid it or you can't help it, or the days you're burn out, okay, my advice is ensure what you are getting is close to healthy meal. Even if you want to buy jollof rice, for instance, ensure it's not the ones that they used the whole spices in the market to prepare. And then, of course, when it comes to protein aspect, it's healthier to eat fish or chicken to red meat. And then take fruits, enough fruits, as much as you can. At least 200 naira orange will be helpful for your system. Recently, I've decided to go more on vegetables. So no matter the soup or whatever I want to make, I discover that I buy more of vegetables, green vegetables, and sincerely, they are not that expensive. I can get 500 naira okra, for instance, 200 naira ugu, pumpkin, and one or two other leaves, and 1,000 naira fish. With 2,000 naira, I can make a pot of soup that is very, very healthy. So I think it's about us working with what we have. Yes. Is when I want to go extra mile, maybe adding chicken, beef, goat meat, and everything at the same. That's fine, but work with what you have per time, and you will still eat healthy and live healthy. The times that we are living in now is very, very challenging, and if you're not careful, like the layman language, you go gaga. That's the truth. You go crazy. But the truth is, number one thing that can help us to manage our stress in the days and times that we're living in is number one, study yourself. You already know those things that are stressors to you. As much as you can, avoid those stressors. Number two, as much as you can, rest. Rest. You can work 8, 12 hours in a day, But if you can catch up to 4 hours rest at a stretch, is going a long way to help you. 3, exercises. It doesn't have to be rigorous. It could be just walking, a little, jogging. Very, very important. Number 4, there's always somebody you trust. It could be your sister, it could be your friend, it could be your spouse. Always voice out to someone when you are stressed. The reason why people end up committing suicide is because they didn't have somebody to talk to, or no one listened to them. So if you're opportuned, you have somebody you talk to from time to time to relieve your stress, it goes a long way to help relieve you of your mental stress.
According to John Lennon, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. We have come to the end of this edition of Better You Today. You can watch these and previous editions via our YouTube page displayed on your screen. My name remains Yetunde Jayola. See you some other time.